Everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
We'll call to order this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for Pinellas County for October 11th, 2022. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. This morning we will have our invocation by Commissioner Flowers, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Eggers. As we have our invocation this morning, we ask that you keep in your thoughts and prayers everyone that has been in the path of Hurricane Ian and everyone who is dealing with the after effects of that. We also ask that you keep the family and friends of Judge Walt Fullerton in your thoughts. He passed away recently after 22 years serving the people of Pinellas County on the bench. So please rise.
As we come graciously before you on today, we rise to give you thanks. We are thankful that we were out of harm's way of Hurricane Ian, and we are thankful that we're able to be in your presence so that we can continue to do the service and the work of Pinellas County. Despite all of that, we send out prayers of strength, encouragement, and support for those to the south of us in Charlotte and Lee County, even as close as Sarasota. While they may have lost their material belongings, their faith in you remains. We are thankful for everyone that is gathered here today, for the presentations that will be made, for the decisions that will be made. We know that we are of service to you first and foremost, and that is how we, in fact, can be of service to the people. We ask for safe traveling grace and mercy for those that are on their way. Allow them to arrive here safely. For those commissioners that are not feeling well, we send out special prayers for them as well, that they are healed completely. And last but certainly not least, we are just thankful to be. So often we take life for granted. So often we put off things that we should be doing. So often we do not tell persons that we love them, that we are encouraged by them. We need to start doing that on a daily basis because tomorrow is never promised. But for this day that we are here, we ask that you give us the wisdom that we need to make sound decisions that are for the betterment of all people throughout Pinellas County. These and all other blessings we ask in the majestic name of the one who sits high and hooks low, no matter the religion, no matter the title that you may give. We all are of service unto you. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioners. We appreciate that. We have a few presentations and awards this morning, and I'll come down for that. All right. For this first one this morning, we are going to have a proclamation for National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I'd like to ask Valerie Lee, Lisa Field, Sharon Hagens, and LaShawn Williams from the Florida Department of Health in Pinellas County to join me at the podium. Just come right around. There you go. Good morning, all. Good morning. An estimated 291,000 new cases of invasive breast cancer and more than 51,000 cases of non-invasive cancer are diagnosed in the U.S. each year, with an estimated 44,000 people losing their lives to breast cancer. 1 in 8 women and 1 in 833 men in America will develop breast cancer at some point in their lives. When the state of Florida saw a need to provide uninsured, low-income women ages 50 to 64 with access, the Florida Department of Health in Pinellas completed over 1,000 life-saving screenings just in 2021 through the breast and cervical cancer program. Thanks to earlier detection and better treatments, mortality rates for breast cancer have decreased in the last decade. During National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we stand with those who have been diagnosed with cancer and offer our support as they fight against this disease. We recognize the doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals whose dedication to their patients gives hope to those living with cancer. The theme of this year's National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is Together We Can. Change the conversation, assist those impacted, and nurture support. Therefore, be it proclaimed by the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners that October be recognized as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we have the proclamation, we have the official words, but let me just thank you for all that you do. There's not anyone in this room that hasn't been touched by cancer. We've lost friends and neighbors, we've lost colleagues, and we've lost family members. And we just want to say thank you for all the work you do. And I will let, who would like to say something?
Good morning, everyone. The Breast and Cervical Cancer Program, we try to make a difference every day for the lives of the women that we serve. There is a great team here. There's Sharon Higgins, LaShawn Williams, and Lisa Field. And I cannot thank them enough for all of their tireless, endless work as we go forward to serve the women. And I also want to thank Pinellas County for all the support that you give us here at the Pinellas County Health Department. Dr. Cho is not with us today, but he is here with us in spirit. So once again, thank you for Pinellas County for supporting us in all the endeavors that we do. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to grab a picture.
Each one's different.
Oh, shoot, I'm still in the picture.
Thank you very much for being here this morning. We appreciate it. Chief Graham, if you join me. We're also recognizing this morning Fire Prevention Week. And I'd like to invite Chief Graham from the Lellman Fire Rescue, who's also president of the Pinellas County Fire Chiefs Association, to join me. Pinellas is committed to ensuring the safety of all those living and visiting our county. Our homes are where we feel the safest, but we are at the greatest risk from fire. Smoke alarms sense smoke well before we can, alerting us to the danger. In the event of a home fire, we have 2 minutes to escape safely. Working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in a home fire by over 50%. Residents who have a home fire escape plan are more likely to survive a fire than those that don't. Our fire departments and firefighters throughout Pinellas are dedicated to reducing home fires and injuries through prevention and public education. Our residents have always been responsive to public education efforts and are able to take steps to increase their safety from residential fires. The 2022 Fire Prevention Week theme is Fire, Don't Wait, Plan Your Escape. This effectively serves to remind us of the importance of having a home fire escape plan. That's why the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners proclaims the week of October 9th through October 15th to be recognized as Fire Prevention Week. Chief Graham?
Just want to say on behalf of the Pinellas County Fire Chiefs, thank you very much. Short and sweet. There you go.
And we're going to grab a picture. And now while you're really all here, we're very excited as we honor the 2022 Pinellas County Fire Professionals of the Year Award recipients. These awards are given to those who go above and beyond the call of duty when providing professional fire services to the community and to the members of the fire services. I want to play a video that gives you a brief description of the type of work that's performed by these individuals and why they are chosen to be today's winners, or this year's winners. Now let's go ahead and play the video.
All of Pinellas County's fire professionals dedicate their careers to public safety and saving lives. Each year, the Board of County Commissioners recognizes this work by naming the Pinellas County Fire Professionals of the Year. His heroic actions to save the life of a neighbor while off duty earned firefighter paramedic Michael Ross the title of Fire Professional of the Year. Ross, a 20-year veteran, was at home when he received an alarming call from his wife. A neighbor's car had slipped into the water at a nearby boat ramp and was quickly sinking.
When I heard in her voice how bad this was, I immediately, went down there. My wife had already made entry into the water. She was trying to open the doors. Me not understanding that our neighbor was inside the vehicle, I asked her what she was doing, and she yells to me, she's trapped in the car.
Without hesitation, Ross jumped into the water and searched for a way to get her out of the car. His son ran to find a large rock and quickly threw it to his dad.
I proceed to brake, bashing at the passenger window. And I can't believe it, the window breaks. So I take the rock, for some reason I put it on the roof of the vehicle, and I make entry into the car trying to find our neighbor. And I cannot find her, it's completely black in there.
Moving quickly, Ross broke another window and pulled his neighbor to shore, where he and his wife performed CPR as emergency responders arrived.
We're just at right place, right time to help, and we're just happy that she is alive and well. That's the biggest thing.
Calvin Hunsinger's efforts to go the extra mile in the Pinellas County Regional 911 Center make him Fire Dispatcher of the Year. Earlier this year, Hunsinger took a call from an extremely panicked caller as flames and smoke filled their home. Using his own training, Calvin began to not only gather necessary information, but kept the caller and their father calm on the way to safety.
It's important to keep the caller calm so that they don't do something that's going to injure themselves or anybody else.
During his time at 911, he has found a passion for helping his fellow telecommunicators hone their skills through training.
I really just love seeing the people develop. I struggled when I first started in this. It's a hard job to learn, and so seeing people succeed in it is very rewarding to me.
Living a life of public service runs in the Hunsinger family, and Calvin is committed to carrying on the tradition.
My family's been in public safety for a very long time. Both grandfathers and both parents, everybody involved, and I wanted to do something that gave back to the community as much as they did. All of them have been in Pinellas County and given something to the community, and I wanted to do so as well.
Working together to rescue victims from extremely challenging situations makes the Pinellas County Technical Rescue Team the 2022 Special Operations Team of the Year. In addition to daily fire duties, this team responds to rescue situations across Pinellas County.
This team deals a lot with situations that are high risk, low frequency, which basically means there are certain techniques and equipment we use that your typical firefighter does not use. So it's everything we have to know to be a firefighter or a paramedic or an EMT, and then some.
In May, several members of the team answered the call to rescue a stranded mural artist from the top of a water tower in Dunedin.
Once we had all the members in place, we were able to lower a rescuer over the edge and do what's called a pick-off. That pick-off is just like it sounds. We lower somebody down and they pick somebody off of the situation they're in. Basically, that entails taking the victim off of whatever system they're currently attached to and attaching them to the rescuer. That rescuer then gains full control of the victim, and then we're able to lower him down safely to Sunstar that was waiting down on the ground.
The Pinellas County Technical Rescue Team is made up of over 120 members from across Pinellas County.
The 4 fire departments that are represented are St. Petersburg, Pinellas Park, Largo, and Clearwater. We all function together as a team, and we're spread out across the county because we don't know when a situation is going to arise or where it's going to happen. So keeping municipalities safe in every direction from Tarpon Springs all the way down to St. Pete Beach and everything in between.
The Board of County Commissioners congratulates the 2022 Fire Professionals of the Year. And on behalf of the county, thank you to all of our fire professionals for your service.
At this time, I'd like to ask the representatives from the Pinellas Federal Credit Union to come forward. Bruce Barnes, Assistant Vice President of Finance, Uriel Alvarez, Branch Manager, to come up and assist with the presentation. First, we're going to, good morning. Good to see you again. First, I'd like to call up Calvin Hunsinger, supervisor from Pinellas County Regional 911 Center, to come forward. I won't repeat everything that was in the video. We saw an excellent video to detail the work, but anyone who has been a Pinellas resident for any length of time knows your family name and knows the service that your family has given to the people of Pinellas, and we're grateful for you continuing that tradition. I'd like to give you the opportunity to say a few words.
Just want to say thank you for the recognition. It is nice to carry on the family legacy, and thank you again.
Thank you. Do you want to say something?
Thank you for your service and on behalf of Pinellas Federal Credit Union.
Thank you very much.
We're going to do a picture.
Family members?
Did you want to?
Next, I want to call up firefighter and paramedic rescue Michael Ross from the Palm Harbor Fire Rescue to come forward. You saw in the incredible video, the heroism that you demonstrated while trying to free the woman trapped in the vehicle will always be remembered as an example of the public service provided by the folks in your profession in Pinellas County. And I'd like to give you a chance to say a few words.
She's right there.
Bring her up for the photo.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Carolyn Keys in the audience. Thank you very much for being here this morning with us. Any other words?
Just thanks to my family that was there to initiate all of this. That was amazing. A whole family coming together, making phone calls, and my wife being in the water first. And yeah, it was amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You want your family? Yeah, everybody. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool is that?
Come on, scoot in close for the photo. Good morning.
Mike Ross and his family. Hi, good morning. I'm Carolyn. I'm the survivor of that first incident that you saw in the video. And I'd like to say thank you to Mike and his family for saving my life. If it wasn't for his acts of perseverance and selflessness and truly heroism, I wouldn't be standing here today. And I'd like to just say thank you to all of the first responders. We are forever grateful for your courageous service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry, but I don't think the rest of your day is going to be anywhere near as good as your morning. So, I'd like to invite Lieutenant Robert Polisi, Lieutenant Joe Ward, Firefighter Mario Barbara, Firefighter Logan Cruz, and Firefighter Devin Heathfield from the Pinellas County Technical Rescue Team to come forward. Go ahead. And you can got everybody? Come on up. As you saw in the video, we just appreciate the work of the entire team that goes into making some of those incredible rescues and appreciate your service every day. Give you a chance to say a few words.
Thank you very much. My name is David Cato. I'm the Division Chief of Training for Clearwater Fire Rescue, also one of the command staff members for Pinellas County Technical Rescue. We've had a couple of personnel changes this morning for this presentation. Our tech commander is actually on a deployment down south for the hurricane relief, so he's not able to be here this morning, so kind of standing in for him. As far as the rescue goes that you saw in the video, driver-operator David Marlowe, Devin Heathfield, Logan Cruz, Lieutenant Polisi, Lieutenant Wade Bishop, and Lieutenant Neil Coomer, who is also part of our command staff, is here to accept the award today. Again, our tech commander is not here, but he does send his appreciation and the humbleness of being able to receive this award. Even though we are made up of 4 different departments within the county, and we all have different patches, we do operate as one entity. And it definitely shows in the pride, honor, and integrity that all these individuals have on our monthly trainings, as well as the dedication when that bell rings. So we certainly appreciate it, your time and the effort, and the award.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else like to say a few words?
Good morning, everybody. I'd just like to thank the County Commission for the recognition of the team. These guys and women put a lot of training in above and beyond their normal fire training, and it shows in actions they did on that day to perform the rescue. So we appreciate the recognition. Thank you very much.
All right. Grab a photo. Scoot on in, yeah.
Yeah, they're not centered.
You gotta give those back, Barbara.
On behalf of Pinellas Federal Credit Union, thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Hard work every day. We're a proud sponsor. Thank you so much.
We want to add our thanks to the credit union for supporting the awards. And again, on behalf of the entire County Commission, we thank you for your service. We recognize these special moments, but we know that you're giving that kind of effort every single day, and we are grateful. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. All right, we'll move on to our next item on the agenda. That's item number 4, citizens to be heard. First is David Ballard Geddes Jr. Come forward. You'll have 3 minutes to address the board.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. David Ballard Geddes Jr. I live at Georgia Avenue in Palm Harbor. As of November 21st, Pinellas County Water Utility will no longer be receiving payments for the water bill at the utility department. So exactly, I ask, how do I pay my water utility bill? In addition, how do I pay the reclaimed water facility fee, as it is a third-party contrivance underpinned on my utility charges? And who shall I complain to in regards of any further ad hoc hedge fund operations compacted in and on my future utility bill? How do I reject any illicit utility facility compacts, further intent on toll charging my essential water access because our court system, as established, is either too inept, corrupt, or indifferent to address such repugnant political undertakings, and our sheriff looks the other way as this political lawlessness continues to digress. Thus, I ask, is our sheriff not only allowing, but to promote such political wrongdoings? Is the sheriff here to protect legislative racketeering of our water supply, to promote a political crime spree, allowing the civilian population to be subjected to a constitutional carpetbagging operation, a bashing as based on the 14th Amendment? Being that I live in a ready-to-serve zone, exactly how am I intended to serve such of a political racketeering scheme? How do I prevent any further future ad hoc hedge fund contrivances from taking hostage my access to my vital water needs? How do I protect the equity in my home from third-party levies? Levies intent on subjecting the equity in my home to finance the contrivance of stormwater vaults. And when do you begin to levy directly on my personhood, directly taxing my person as enumerated from Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution? Being that the county utility no longer receives utility payments for its water charges, where do I go and serve payment to your wide range of accompaniments on your billing practice? Federalist Paper number 30 describes this interwoven billing system of government as the shaping of bashawas, as a bashing, sowing seeds of discord, creating irreconcilable deprecations of public trust, deforming the intended purpose of government, using past political deficiencies to formulate
David, your time is
despotic
up.
forms of taxation today.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
I think you hit the button. You need to let it just. Next is Zahn Butterfield. If you come forward, come to the microphone, you'll have 3 minutes. Introduce yourself, you'll have 3 minutes to address the board.
Absolutely, yes, sir. This is about topic number 10, addressing the crisis of homelessness.
All right, would you like to wait and address it when we come to the agenda?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
Thank you. Okay. Next is Greg Pound. Come forward, you'll have 3 minutes to address the board.
Yes, Greg Pound, Largo. Psalms 122 on children. It says, rich or happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. Do you know the cure for breast cancer? Do you know why the women in Mexico don't have breast cancer? Because they don't put their little girls on birth control so they can go out and start having sex at 12 years old. The cause of breast cancer is associated with your birth control. I mean, I've said this many times, and you guys, I don't understand why American people do this ignorance and allow this stuff to continue. And just, I mean, the people, I mean, don't you women care about other women? Why don't you look into it to study? We're in the time of super intelligence with this internet. I mean, and just look what it's doing. American people, are we that ignorant? Are our women that ignorant? I mean, come on. I mean, it's just somehow we're going to have to correct this. There's big money associated with breast cancer. I mean, billions and billions. But it's using people for money. We're supposed to love people and use things, not use people and love things. So this is why we have this. Now, I was in Port Charlotte yesterday, all day yesterday. And when you see the busloads of people coming in from other countries who can't speak English, and I have nothing against it, but they don't have birth control over there. And they don't have all their women working outside the home. Okay? I mean, our families are being wiped out, and this is a social agenda that's going on to destroy the American way of life, and that's called family. The most important thing we have, and the only way we're going to survive and stabilize as a nation is through family, and children need a father. And what they've done is they're destroying us through destroying the family, taking the fathers out of the families. And you see the situation we're in. It's just a real big mess. And so, I mean, as I come up here and I try to share this, and Pinellas County is notorious. We have a county that has lied people on the sheriff's department. I'm not saying all deputies are bad. I'm saying those that work with the family unit, mainly the women. And I mean, I've got them lying on video. I got these people working for the CPI's Child Protection Investigation Team for the sheriff's department, lying on video. And they wouldn't even let me, Judge Fleming put me in jail for wanting to produce evidence into the court that shows that these people are lying. They wouldn't even look at it, okay, because they don't want the truth. And once you hate the truth so much, our court system's corrupt, you're destroying the families, you separate the children, all the fathers. We don't have any men left anymore. I mean, the only way, the reason I can tell these people down there they're immigrants is because they're skinny, and they're down there to work and make money. The only skinny Americans you can have here are drug addicts. You look at any American males, young males, the reason they're skinny is because of drug addicts. You look at everyone else, they're big and fat. I mean, the majority of the population of America is so fat and out of control, you can't make it up. I mean, it's like the Bible says, their eyes are bulging out with fatness, they have so much. And this is where we're at. And we have nothing but greed, and we have a whole system. Hitler and Stalin said it like this: you get the women, then you've got the children, and then you got the men. They've got our women's minds. They've got them. And you men are, if the American men don't figure this stuff out and figure out how to correct this, our nation is done. It's just done. And so it's either repent or perish, like Christ said. And, you know, you need to pray for our country.
Yeah. Move on to the consent agenda, items 5 through 13. We'll pull item number 10. Are there other items to be pulled?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Egger, second by Commissioner Flower. We'll do a voice vote on the remainder. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Show it passes unanimously. Item number 10. Mr. Administrator, could you just give us a 30-second on that?
Item number 10 is a ranking of firms. This is for the Homeless Emergency Project. This is a new contract that 3 years, total upset limit of $900,000. Let me see. This provides emergency shelter and case management services.
All right, we have one person who wants to speak on it. Mr. Butterfield, if you come forward, you'll have 3 minutes to address the board on item number 10. Good morning again.
Good morning again. Good morning, Board of County Commissioners. It's an honor to speak in front of you all today and everybody in attendance today. My name is John Butterfield. I'm a student at St. Petersburg College pursuing a major in public policy administration. So without further adu, I'll begin my speech. 2,307. It's a really important number because as according to the Florida Health Charts.government, that is the number of people experiencing experiencing homelessness in Pinellas County. And according to the National Alliance to End Homelessness, a person experiencing chronic homelessness will cost the taxpayer an average of $35,000 a year. This number, of course, when tallied up, multiplied by 2,307, is about approximately $85 million, which is the exact number of funding with respect to Governor Ron DeSantis was given by the CARES Act, which is a federally legislated act. With this context of all these numbers and measurements and acts in mind, I would like to mention that the recommendation proposed by the board is appreciated, respected, and much needed. The topic of homelessness is an overwhelming and nearly impossible challenge, but the act of giving, within the span of 3 years, $900,000 to measurements to prevent that is really needed. And so once again, my name is John Butterfield. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Good luck with the rest of your studies.
Thank you.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Egger, second by Commissioner Gerard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So it passes unanimously. Moving on to the regular agenda. Item number 14. Good morning, Mr. Administrator.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item number 14 is with Suncoast Animal League. It's a spay or neutering clinic, and this is an MSTU for $19,971 for surgical equipment and for the clinic.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Seal. The clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously. Let me mention that Commissioner Long is traveling and Commissioner Peters is out ill, so we'll have a 5 vote today. Item number 15, Mr. Administrator.
Item number 15 is the long-awaited implementation. This is a contract with Unite USA for our coordinated access model. This has been devised over the last several years, as you know, working in conjunction with all of our partners to devise a system to be able to streamline services and access for services for mental health, people in need of mental health services. This contract's for a total of 48 months at $9.1 million.
Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, I don't know if we could just take maybe a minute and just have a short additional presentation, just kind of where we are right now and what we're hoping to accomplish. Obviously, this is a system that we've been working on, the staff has been working on for 3 to 4 years now, and bringing a behavioral health model to Pinellas County is just exciting. I know it's not supposed to kick off until next spring, but there's so much work going on, and just a few words so our residents can understand a little better this incredible thing that's coming to them, young people, old people, vets, and everybody in between. So thank you.
Sure. Good morning, Karen Yatchum, Human Services Director. So the coordinated access model with Unite Us and in partnership with the USF College of Behavioral Health Sciences is really aimed at streamlining access for residents of all ages. So they will have one number to call, a website, text, and chat features where they can talk about their symptoms, they can receive an assessment, and really an appointment is really kind of what we're driving for. We're not going to be giving anyone lists to call. They will be secured with an appointment. We're also designing this for the helpers in our community, so case managers, hospital discharge planners, those that really coordinate care for others. They will also be able to call on behalf of the person sitting with them to access services. So it's really aimed at appointments. We're really trying to work with technology, but also working with kind of hubs in the community so that people who don't have tech can walk in and receive assistance as well for their behavioral health.
Just to, if young folks that are hearing about it and needing service, or veterans, or our first responders, or anybody who may, there's still a stigma with trying to get help. But is there a way that we can make sure that these folks obviously are treated not only confidentially when they call in, but also when they get that service? I mean, that seems to be one of the issues, and I've heard of a few programs set up just for first responders that don't even have to let the people at the hospital or wherever they're getting help know. So just maybe talk a little bit to that anonymity for people getting service.
Sure. So I think one of the things that we're going to be most proud of with Unite Us is the building of the network. So it's not just going to be the providers that the county contracts with. We're really going to look to expand all of those services. So services aimed at youth, services aimed at veterans, first responders, that will be part of the network. All of the information will be protected under HIPAA and 42 CFR. So really it's going to be, we're building this for clients. So we're not building this for providers or networks. So we're really going to take into account their privacy and their confidentiality and the stigma that is, surrounds behavioral health services and access.
Okay, well, I can't thank you enough and your staff. I know this has been a heavy lift, and we're getting there. Really proud of the effort, and I think the residents of Pinellas County will be so much better off for having this available. So thank you. Sure. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Commissioner Flowers.
Thank you. Is there anyone here from FAST? I was just checking to see, since I know they were adamant in pushing this, if anyone was here to support us in doing this. So, can you share if you all have put together or are thinking about a marketing strategy so that the community will know? Because this has taken some time. So for some people, it didn't necessarily fall off of the radar, but it's been a while. So is there a marketing strategy so that people can become re-engaged, hear what's going on, understand what this is, and that this does not negate any of the other initiatives or programs that have been put in place to try to deal with points of contact for service?
Sure, and that's going to be, again, part of what we're building over the next few months with Unite Us. So what is the marketing strategy? So part of what they're going to be doing is they have a Florida team. So they're not new to Florida. So they have staff that are based here in Pinellas County. They're going to go out and meet with all of the providers, building new providers, and then working on a campaign for advertising. And I know we'll be working with our communications team as well for social media.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Eggers, second by Commissioner Flowers. The clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote.
Touch my screen and it just.
And it passes unanimously. Item 16.
Item 16 is the first renewal for our 211 Tampa Bay Cares call center operations. Again, this continues the funding in the amount of $536,000.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Seal, second by Commissioner Gerard. Clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 17.
These are funding recommendations for the 2021 Burn Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program. There was 9 applications requesting a total of $516,000.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Seal. Clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. Passes unanimously. Item 18.
Item 18 is the first amendment to a purchase authorization with SHI International Corporation for IT Solutions and Services. This was a state contract that we worked off of that the state canceled, and therefore leading us to have to come up with a different contracting. This is for all of our Microsoft licensing, maintenance, et cetera. And so we're piggybacking another contract that was a government purchasing cooperative, and this holds the pricing to be the same, but switches us over to go off of this other contract.
So it extends it as well?
It extends it, yeah, it extends it through February of 2025.
It says an increase and extension, so is the annual service the same?
Well, I can have BTS come up. I'm sure it is, but that's what I'm gonna have them say.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Zelmall, BTS. I think that they tried to extend it out to be coincident with our Microsoft agreement term. So I think that extends through 2025, which is why we wanted to extend the authorization also.
So it says increase in the amount of 6.5.
Which is the total term over the Microsoft term, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not an increase in the rate, it's an increase in the cost because of the length of the contract.
Just the length of the contract, correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Flowers. Clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 19.
This is 2022 to 2024 local workforce services. They're 2-year plan modifications from CareerSource. And Cynthia and Steve are both here if you have questions.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Flowers, second by Commissioner Seal. Further discussion? Clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously.
Mr. Chair, we do have Mr. Meyer here, just recognizing that we have him here from CareerSource.
Thank you for being here. Thank you. Item number 20.
This is issuance of certificate of public convenience and necessity for Ride Point Medical Transport. They meet all the requirements to add them.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gerard, second by Commissioner Eggers. Further questions? Clerk will open the board and commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 21.
This is multifamily housing revenue bonds for Creekside Manor. They're requesting, the original amount was $13 million. They're requesting that be increased to $16 million for this project.
This is their bonding ability, not additional monies from us.
Yeah, this is Housing Finance Authority. This is revenue bonds that has no impact on the county.
Further questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Flowers, second by Commissioner Eggers. Clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 22.
This item is industrial revenue bonds. The original amount was $3,570,000 on behalf of Volunteers of America. They've made several different changes to this. It doesn't change the overall amount, but it does change some of the terms, including the interest rate, et cetera, and stuff. These were originally issued in 2015. So there's several changes to this. We can certainly have staff come up and explain it if you have questions. But again, these have no bearing on the county's credit.
Questions or a motion?
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Flowers, second by Commissioner Seal. Clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 23.
Under item number 23, I'm asking the board ratify action taken by the county attorney. This was a matter that involved some severe code enforcement issues and some animal issues that we sought approval from the chair to take immediate action, and I'm now asking that the board ratify the action taken.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Flowers, second by Commissioner Gerard. Clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. And it passes unanimously. Any reports?
No, sir.
Item 25, County Administrator reports.
I thought under the County Administrator's report, provide a quick summary and briefing regarding Hurricane Ian. As you were well aware, we faced a potential Category 4 hurricane coming directly at us. Every forecast had us within the cone, and there were a number of actions that we took to fully prepare for that. As a result of your actions with the local state of emergency on September 24th, between September 26th and 27th, we began, as it got closer and all the forecasts aligned, mandatory evacuation orders. What this entailed was us opening 25 shelters, 3 special needs shelters, including full medical capabilities. We convert buses to be able to do transports for them. And bringing the entire community together. I mean, every municipality, every nonprofit, and you hear about it's called our Rock Call, but that's all of our community partners. There's over 250 people involved in listening in on that as a coordination of services. Everything from homelessness groups to housing groups to everybody else that has populations. These calls are difficult because you're asking a lot of people to take pretty drastic actions to move people and keep them out of harm's way. And nobody takes it lightly. And we didn't take it lightly. But as we saw what happens down south, if you don't take it seriously, of what can occur. When we had to make the call about a mandatory evacuation, we had 99 long-term care facilities in our evacuation zones. That's significant, along with, and what we also found is that people are reluctant because of the impact it has on their operation to be able to move until there's a mandatory evacuation, even though it's that lead time that is needed for that. We saw that hotels wouldn't close down, even out on the beach, without the mandatory evacuation. We saw our long-term care facilities wouldn't take that action until we issued a mandatory evacuation. So some of those lead items, along with getting the schools ready and everything else, were key to that. So we did come together as a community. I'm happy to report that we did have the shelters open. We had them staffed. So many volunteers and community members and everybody came together to make all that happen. However, we're going to do an after-action review. There's always room to improve. We had high water vehicles pre-positioned with National Guard around the county because we had 5,000 people in our shelters, and during Irma there was 22,000. So where were they? My guess is we were going to be doing rescues, and so the sheriff pre-planned boats around the county. And so we were ready as you can be for facing such a I mean, there's only so much you can do to plan for something like that coming at you. But there was also a lot of lessons learned. Right now, they're working obviously on for all the federal disaster declarations and the things that go along with that. But currently, since that time, we've had Clayton. He immediately went down and set up communications in South Florida to assist them. We had Spencer Shaw. He's down there working night shift in their planning section. We had Adam, Mary, and Season, and Andrea, all with parks, all deployed to Charlotte County to assist. Utilities sent personnel to Lee County to assist with line repairs. Emergency management and parks and conservation resources deployed to assist Lee and Charlotte counties. And Pinellas County's deployed our ambulances with EMT drivers as part of a regional EMS task force. And the Sheriff's Office has deployed boats and personnel to support the impacted areas. So, you know, we're coming out of trying to assist others, and also at the same time, kind of, while it's fresh in our mind, be able to document what occurred, what planning and things that did occur. I also talked to the city managers, and we're going to hold a special city managers call where we can come together and really learn from each other. It requires a community effort. Everybody needs to be part of it, and we're going to approach the after-action review in the same manner, because I think anytime, you know, even though you were as prepared as you can be, there's always lessons learned, and we want to take advantage of that while everybody, you know, remembers. So to our EMS team, utilities, public works, everybody in the community that come together to be able to help us prepare, I just say thank you, because without their efforts, we wouldn't have been as prepared as we were. So I'm thankful that obviously we didn't have to face what they're facing down south. We will assist them in any manner that we can, but we also just want to thank everybody for everything that they did.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let me add our thanks, and I sent out a note to the staff contacts that I had, but just the sheer volume of work and everything you think about when you're going through it or afterwards. Well, our staff thought about it 6 different ways months and years ago, and they've been putting this plan in. But it is, you're right, it is, after every time you go through it, you think, what would we change? What would we tweak? What would we edit? And we did that at home. We looked at how prepared were we at home, and I think that's really important for residents to do, because all the different numbers that we got over the last couple of weeks, the one that scared the heck out of me was that we had 350,000 people living in an evacuation zone, and we had 5,000 people in shelters.
I know.
And I will tell you anecdotally, it seemed that more of the people that we know actually did evacuate, from what we could tell of our personal contacts. But I still don't believe there were 345,000 people that found other places to shelter during those 24, 48 hours. So, I think maybe seeing the devastation that will spark that desire for folks to want to plan. No one wants to be in the situation that the folks south of us are in, and we would just encourage our residents to take every step necessary to make sure that they're ready and that their family is ready, because you do not want to place your family in harm's way when we're dealing with something like this. Other commissioners, Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, thank you for your comments, Mr. Chair. Yeah, Barry, I just can't fathom the machine that has to be put together. The most incredible high-level planning to the most, little minute detail, so that when people get to the shelters, they actually have a place to go to at the shelter. They actually have food and water and all of that. People that are in our nursing homes that have to be transported. Planning before, the before thing, during, while it's going on, and then the after effects is just is monumental. And I just really wanted to say thank you to you, to the sheriff, to Kathy Perkins over at EOC, and Barbara Hernandez and her communications team, but then all the other people that were involved, not only here, but certainly through the school board at the shelters. It's a Herculean effort to get people an option to be safe during these storms. And we don't always get it right on everything, but I can't find something that I can fault you with yet. So great job, seriously. And I really look forward to your after report, because, as you say, we can always get a little bit better. But I was just incredibly impressed. People I've talked to in government and outside in the residents has spoken really well about the effort. So great job, and Hopefully we don't have any more of that this year. And I really appreciate the effort also from the team in getting people lined up in whatever capacity to help the folks down south, because my God, I think it woke us all up a little bit to see those storm surges. We've dealt with a lot of wind stuff, not the big wind stuff here, but we've dealt with wind. But that surge, that storm surge, was just something that is just sometimes unfathomable.
And it's that I think was part of what people I don't think really understood. And first, and I would be remiss if I didn't really call out, Kevin at the superintendent and the sheriff. Our executive leadership team. You feel a little lonely when you're trying to make some of those decisions, but it's our leadership team that comes together to be able to make those. So I do want to call that out. But when you were looking at some of that storm surge, we saw storm surges up to 15 feet coming through the bay. Okay, and if you're going to hunker down in South Oldsmar, that's a bad decision. And I think that those maps, that's another. We'd like our maps to work next time online, and stuff. But some of those things are just significant in terms of something that I don't think people understood what the storm surge. And we really need to get that out.
But that discussion you all have at those critical moments and trying to balance the overreaction and underreaction. Do we go too far? Do we get people, crying wolf kind of sort of, or do we not do it? And that's a really difficult decision as you approach that weekend and Saturday and then Sunday. And Kathy Perkins is over there going, oh, we need it sooner. And the others who are trying to draw that balance. And the executive team was really good in that discussion at those critical times. So again, enough for me, but thank you from myself. Appreciate it.
Anything further?
That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Item 26, appointment to the Educational Facilities Authority Board. Do we have ballots?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, she no. Oh,
It's coming.
I thought she was that way.
Thank you.
Give you a second to count the votes there.
Yep, thank you. Okay, the board has selected Ralph Reed.
Very good. Thank you very much. Item 27, County Commission new business pertinent timely updates. I have two things. One, we have a Skyway lighting request from the Drug Enforcement Office, Tampa District Office, for a nationwide campaign to spread awareness of living a drug-free life. The bridge will be lit red last week of October. Are there questions or a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Flowers, second by Commissioner Eggers. The clerk will open the board. Commissioners will proceed to vote. Passes unanimously. Thank you very much. And the other item I had was you got a memo from Commissioner Peters about desire for a letter of support to serve on the NACO board. Are there any objections for the chair providing that letter of support? Nope. All right. We'll do that. We don't need a vote. I'll just do that. That's all I have. Other commissioners, any updates or reports? Commissioner Seal.
Yes, just quickly forward Pinellas. We had a meeting on September 14th and 2 grant awards, one for North Greenwood to do a North Martin Luther King Avenue corridor. And that's part of the proposed CRA in North Greenwood. And the second is our own Pinellas County is looking for urban design and architectural guidance for compatibility with surrounding neighborhoods. So they'll be looking at downtown Palm Harbor as well as other areas in the county. We talked about the strategic intermodal system cost plan and passed several amendments to the 3 amendments to the countywide plan. Wanted to give you an update because this is the town of Indian Shores has been looking to construct a sidewalk for some time now. and the cost is extremely expensive, so they're looking at other options. They're also talking about creating a transportation management organization with the Gateway Business Council to engage business leaders. So that was the highlights, and then I'm going to leave this packet from the Office of Human Rights, the Human Rights Board meeting that we had on September 13th. It was really, we don't usually have very long meetings, and this one was fairly long. We talked about the Pinellas County anti-harassment policy, grievance procedures. We talked about some of the complaints we've been getting, and I think you would just find it interesting. So I will leave that for you all to take a look at.
So where's it going to be?
Yeah.
Where are you going to leave it?
I'm sorry?
Where were you going to leave it?
I was going to leave it there at the end of the hallway, where we usually leave proclamations to be signed. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, just a couple things. First of all, law library open house is tomorrow morning, 8:30, probably 8:30 to 9:30. So if you get a chance, come on by. The Commissioner Seal mentioned our Forward Pinellas group, and they've been kind of coordinating a TEALS advisory study, which is target employment and industrial land study, and it's just a fascinating work. It's kind of coming to an end with their recommendations. They're going to be presenting to the MPO board. I certainly think that we need to see a presentation here. Such great things about jobs and improving educational opportunities that match the jobs that will be available in the years to come. Target employment companies are a different breed of company that brings not only jobs but brings a lot of tax dollars to the area. There's a lot of challenges with it. The state law change a couple of years ago, and this past year, telling us what we can do with industrial land is problematic. Some of the cities will have an overlapping use of those lands as well. A lot of county stormwater regs. The concept of mixed use is really kind of rising up, so that you don't eliminate industrial on industrial lands, but you perhaps mix in some retail, some housing, if it's done correctly. So it's a really exciting study. I think it's, I don't want to call it earth-changing, but I do think it's extremely important for us to take a strong look at this, and looking forward to that presentation in the couple of 3 months ahead. Attended the Oldsmar BMX championship thing on Saturday, which was just unbelievable. 22 countries, people from around the country. Over 1,000 bikers were there. They had a ribbon cutting, reopening the facility. The chairman was there as well, saying a few words on our behalf. But just amazing, the number of hotel rooms, the number of people that come into that as far as tourism and heads and beds, so to speak. But just an incredibly, I mean, the city Oldsmar is well known in the biking community around the world as almost a mecca for people to come to and to compete. A lot of people come here to train. They'll be coming here in countries to train for the Olympics coming up.
I asked the gentleman who was actually from the organization, I said, it's shiny, it's new, we love it. How does this really stack up? And he said this is one of the best.
Yeah.
As far as the actual structure, the actual facility, so something to be really proud of.
In the world.
In the world.
Yeah, it's just amazing. So want to congratulate the city of Oldsmar, obviously Pinellas County, TDC, all of the folks involved in helping that effort come to fruition. And the last thing I wanted to say, just on Tampa Bay waterfront, the good news this time of the year is our reservoir is full. What that means is we have a lot of extra water over there in case we have a drought in the next 6 to 9 months. You never know for sure how we're going to get there, but the rains came in September, filled our reservoir up perfectly. Actually going to, in December, have a workshop on the future of reclaimed water and all of the different uses that are out there. We've just chosen a water supply source recently for the next one, which will be coming online in 2028. But immediately we start planning for the one that's going to come online in 2035. And so there'll be a lot of different issues and a lot of different water projects that will be considered over the next year or two as we start to aim for that 2035. So we're doing really great there. Very minor problems during the hurricane. There's a few outages, but obviously the water kept flowing and no issues at all with that. And then Finally, there's a extremely important water quality project that we're going through the process. Our utilities group is right there involved, and understanding, Tampa Bay Water understanding that Pinellas County, it's very important to our residents, this Tampa Bay, this water quality project. So I'm certainly, we're slowing it down a little bit to make sure that we're comfortable with it. I want to just take my hat off to the team from our utility group. They're very engaged daily and weekly with Tampa Bay Water to make sure our residents get the water that they need and the quality that they need. So that's all I've got, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Gerard.
Yep, just want to say we had an agreement signing with PSTA and the City of Clearwater on Friday, just to kind of cut that into stone. October 20th, we have Sunrunner inaugural ride. Come on out and ride out to the beach and back. And I look forward to taking Commissioner Seal's place on Forward Pinellas.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Flowers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the light things first, there is a job fair October 19th, and it is sponsored in partnership with the Foundation for a Healthy St. Pete, the City of St. Petersburg, Bayfront Health, St. Anthony's Hospital, and Johns Hopkins Hospital. They will be providing childcare on site, so if you're coming for an interview and you don't have someone to watch your child, you can certainly bring them, and that will be provided for you. They are hiring on the spot, so put your best foot forward at that time. I hate that we even have to say this, but there are felon-friendly organizations that will be present. So if you have issues in your background, please don't think that you cannot attend. They're looking to fill over 100 positions between those organizations. So if you are available, please, by all means, do so. The National Council of Negro Women, of which I am a member of, we will be able to host our Mlk Leadership Breakfast yet again. We did not have that as a result of COVID. Over the last 2 years, that will be January 16th, 2023, back at the historic Coliseum. So please start to make plans to attend. Also on this coming Saturday at Pinellas Technical College, there is an empowerment business expo that's put on by the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. So please come and visit that. There are a number of vendors, businesses, persons that will be hiring, just a whole lot of information that will be available for you. And it is free to the public. So I look forward to seeing you there. And the last is a report from Commissioner Janet Long. She wanted me to give this report in her absence related to T-BARTA. And so we've talked before about the CSX rail corridor assessment and the fact that CSX has determined that they are not willing to negotiate to sell their rail lines. So that's kind of on the back burner. I know that staff is going to remain open to dialogue if things should happen to change, but at this point, I don't think they will. The US 19 regional BRT work is complete on the US 19 regional BRT study. The BRT designs and concepts of operation weren't as cost effective as hoped, so the team is evaluating alternative bus services. The executive team of T-BARTA met on October 6th to review the new analysis and was in fact pleased with the results, which will now be presented to the entire T-BARTA board at our meeting on October 21st. The gondola study, initially we were talking both with St. Petersburg and Clearwater for the gondola. Just think about the gondolas you see at Disney World and it takes you over traffic. St. Petersburg determined that they were no longer interested in participating. However, we're moving forward with the work that includes Clearwater. The feasibility study for that is complete. Public input was in fact received as a result of our survey process. The team presented its findings to the Clearwater City Council on October 6th, and we'll present again to the T-BARTA board what those findings are on October 21st. The I-275 Regional BRT, all environmental and cultural assessment work is in fact complete. T-BARTA submitted the documented categorical exclusion worksheet supporting additional supporting materials to the FTA on October 7th. So we anticipate a response from FTA by the end of the year. We're not sure, but we are hopeful. Also, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but yesterday in Hillsborough, the judge shot down the request for Hillsborough County's 1% referendum sales tax to fund themselves. So I'm not sure what or how they'll work that out, but that certainly plays a role into the regionalization of transportation where all of our counties are involved. So hopefully I'll have more information for you on that. And then Commute Tampa Bay, which is the demand for van pool programs that continues to grow. It's driven mostly by the James Haley VA Medical Center and MacDill Air Force Base. There were 193 van pools in September alone, one more than the all-time high in August, and 25% more than in September 2021. And so I will keep you abreast, or Commissioner Long will keep you abreast, but we're continuing to move forward in the way that we know how as it relates to transit operations on a regional approach. That's all that I have.
Thank you very much. Anything else for the good of the order? We are adjourned.
Okay.